practice of line sharing has existed for years, saving money for both consumers and businesses. Today, I'm going to take you through one of Viking's most popular line sharing devices, the FAXJ-1000. The FAXJ-1000 is a fax switching device that allows 4 analog telephony devices to share the same phone line. Examples of devices connected to the FAXJ-1000 are analog telephones, fax machines, modems, personal computer, and credit card processing machines. The FAXJ-1000 will route incoming calls by C&G tone, distinctive ring, or by touch tones, and it has the ability to store and forward caller ID. There are 3 dip switches on the FAXJ-1000. By factory default, they are all set to off. Dip switch 1, when off, will set the ring limit to 5 rings. When dip switch 1 is on, the ring limit is 10 rings. If dip switch 2 is off, the FAXJ-1000 will ignore any distinctive ringing coming from the phone line. If dip switch 2 is on, the FAXJ-1000 will route calls according to the certain type of distinctive ring. Distinctive ring routing options are in the product manual, which you can find in the description section. With dip switch 3 set to off, the FAXJ-1000 will automatically answer incoming calls and detect C&G tones or caller ID. And if dip switch 3 is on, the FAXJ will ring the first port until the call is answered manually. Before we get into connections, I'd like to point out this LED here. This is the status LED and will tell you when the FAXJ is powered. This first port is the earth ground. It is optional. The FAXJ is surge protected on both the phone line and from the power adapter. Pins 1 and 2 are for your phone line. This can be a traditional analog POTS line, an analog extension on a PBX, or a FXS port from an ATA on voice over IP phone systems. Connect up to 4 analog devices on pins 3 through 10. Each pair is designated from the factory for a specific purpose. However, each one can be used as you decide. Pins 3 and 4 are designated for phone 1, which should be your main phone. Pins 5 and 6 are designated for a fax machine. The FAXJ-1000 can be programmed to listen for C&G tones, and when it detects C&G tones, automatically route that call to pins 5 and 6. Pins 7 and 8 are for a modem communication. However, this port also works for credit card processing or an analog phone. Pins 9 and 10 are designated for phone number 2. The FAXJ is complete with routing touch tones used to transfer calls from port to port. Check out the description section for the product manual for directions on how to transfer calls, as well as an application note that our product support team discovered on using the FAXJ-1000 as a mini phone system. Very cool. Like the video if you did. Please be sure to subscribe to the Viking Electronics YouTube channel. For all of those of you who are subscribed, thank you so much. Also, be sure to check out our latest video drop. I think you're going to love it. I'm Andrew with Viking Electronics. See you next time.